All right, so I'm at Evergreen Lake, about 9 o'clock in the morning. Got here a little later last night. Didn't do really any fishing, but I talked to a guy that was next to me in the campground, and he said, one, the oxygen levels in this lake are a little low, and that apparently somebody caught the state record muskie out of here. So that's interesting. Didn't know there were muskie in here. It's gonna be a little windy today. Let's try some windbone blanks. Maybe try some protected coves. See if there's anything in there. Water's a little stained today. So yeah, we'll see. Trying to get over a cold, so if I sound a little weird, that's why. You know, we got some activity down there below. Going up to that little hump right there. Real silty bottom, I think. Oh boy. I think they're shallow up here. You never know. It's pretty shallow though. Something there. Nice. Shallow. First fish of the day. Call it a half pounder. Nice, bud. Looks like they're right on top. So I was kind of going shallow up here, but I don't know. Got that one. I just don't know if that's good. I don't know. I don't know if that's a pattern or not. One is not a pattern, right? Gotta keep doing this and seeing where they're at. I keep seeing boils, like they're chasing fish, but that one was so shallow. Like a foot of water. Sauger. Little saw guy. Little saw guy. Oh, look at the teeth on those things, man. Oh, look at the teeth. Oh, man. Is that a Sauger? Yeah. It's a Sauger. Thanks, bud. Alright, multi-species day. So this video is sponsored by Deep Dive. Deep Dive is a great app. I mean, if you really want to go to a new lake or break down your old lake, one that you're familiar with, maybe look at different ways, wind-blown banks, water inlets. But I'm just gonna be looking at like wind-blown banks. I want to kind of see, you know, what's going on up in here in the back of the creek channels. And the great thing about Deep Dive is it'll update its map pretty frequently. So if you want to see where the wind's been like for like the last 12 hours. You can see that, and you can kind of get a prediction of what it's going to be in like the next 12 hours too, based on, you know, the water, or based on the weather and that forecast. But it's a great way to break down a new lake, especially if you've never been here before, or, you know, if it's a lake that you know, but, you know, maybe you're just not getting bit as well. Maybe it's because you're on, maybe, you know, try a different bait. It'll show you, like, you know, some bait recommendations. But, you know, it could also just be because, you know, maybe it's the time of the year and they're in the back half of the creeks and, you know, you're fishing main lake. Or, you know, maybe they're on the main lake and you're fishing the back half of the creeks in the still water, and, you know, they're not there. So it's a great way to kind of see, you know, a different perspective, different view. And I'll tell you, it's helped me catch, especially on new lakes, it's helped me break them down, get prepared for what I'm getting into. You know, if I can see, you know, where people from tournaments have been catching fish, water inflows, water inlets, you know, and those are really where we're going to be, like, your fish are going to congregate, especially around those water inlets where, you know, streams will come in, or maybe you have like you have a stream coming in, or you know, kind of like a dam and you're on the other side of it. But it's a great way to, you know, it's like, oh well, since you know the fish are going to be around where moving water is most of the time, you know, it's a great way to, pretty awesome. Anytime I go to a new lake, this is the first outside of the weather app, this is the first app that I open is Deep Dive. You know, usually just to get a good idea, lay of the land. And again, what I look for when I open that app and I'm looking at a new lake. Oh, did you see that? And I'm looking at a new lake, you know, I'm looking at wind effect. I want to see where the wind's at. Because, you know, windblown banks are always going to be pretty fishy. Water inlets too. Oh, he's running. Hey, he's running, dude. That caught me off guard. I wasn't paying attention. Should have been paying attention. Skinny. Thanks, bud. Oh, come on now. I gotta let him grab it a little bit, I guess. Right there. Oh. That's another one right off that point. Thanks, bud. Just on this point right here. Thanks. Getting there. Thanks, bud. Caught. So I'm guessing when I'm fishing here is just it's a secondary point. And like the wind's just kind of coming through, and I think they're just kind of stacking up here as they're waiting for the bait fish to be kind of pulled through, pushed through here. I can feel like it's like rock or limbs down there. I think it's rock, but yeah, on points right now, kind of shallow. I think that's the pattern. Looking at, I'm standing right now on 4 feet, so I guess it's a long, shallow point here. A little tiny guy. What is that? Is that a bass? It is a little bass. Look at that little guy. Little tiny guy. Thanks, bud. Okay. All right, I'm gonna try to find some other points. I think that might be the pattern that I'm on, or points. So there's one that's kind of far away down, so I'm gonna turn it off and I'll meet you guys when I get there. Get some ice and some. Oh, he came up. Nice. You're really up there shallow, huh? Thanks, bud. Still up shallow. It's interesting. Right off of that wall. Right off. It's a little guy. Thanks, bub. Feet. It's getting deeper right here now. Deeper. What is that? That's a bass. Thanks, bud. Maybe I should stay here. Thanks, bud. Yeah, it's another little guy. Thanks, bud. Oh no, he came off. That was a good one. Oh. Oh, did not get a good hook set in him though. Dang. Dang, because he took off with that thing too. Dang. Damn. Might have been, I don't know. Might have been the big fish of the day, but I doubt it was anything big. I haven't really caught anything big out of here yet. Nice. A little bigger. Come on. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Oh yeah? All right, well, maybe they'll bite something new. All right. What are you using? I just had it hanging in the water. Yeah, wouldn't doubt it. Yep, thanks man, you too. Ow. Come on. Thanks, bud. Well, that's the first. I just literally had the bait just hanging in the water. I was talking to that guy. And bass came up and grabbed it, which, okay. Didn't expect that. Ooh, that was close to swallowing it. There we go. Thanks, bud. I don't care what anybody says, man. This thing catches fish. There's another one. Thanks, bud. Another one. You're stacked up on points, man. Points. Ow. I know. I know. I know. I know. Thanks, bud. So I'm just literally I'm just fishing this point right here. And there's a little bit of lay down here. And I'm kind of catching them. So we're down at 8 feet. There's a little bit of a drop off here. And I think what's happening is I'm bringing this down the bank, going to shallow to deep. That's where I'm picking them off because they're kind of like waiting up there. Because I noticed a couple of times when I've cast it up shallow, it scares a lot of bait fish. So, yeah, it's been working out. Just keep floating down, I guess. Unless I catch another one here. But that's what I like about fall, right? Is if you catch one, stay there, cast again, cast a couple more times actually, because they'll school up, because they're starting to feed, so they'll school up together and corral the bait fish to little holes, little pockets like this. So yeah, if you catch one, it's usually a good sign that there's gonna be more around. Now it could happen in in summer and all that stuff too, but typically in the summer, you're flipping, you're pitching, you're going into like cover, and there could be a couple of bass here and there together, but it doesn't happen as much as it does in the fall. Spring and the fall is when they're really going to start schooling up, and really is where you can start catching a lot of the numbers in the same spot, which is why that guy was like, yeah, I caught a couple there, and you know, I probably caught a couple there. There was probably a little bit of school there. You know, it looked like a little bit of an inlet, creek runoff in there. And so it could have just been gathered around that. A couple more casts over here. They're also kind of like, ooh, I think they might be kind of like in the shade a little bit, which is nice. I've been catching them right off that shade line. So yeah, I'm just letting it marinate, you know, just kind of slowly working it across all these trees and rocks and laydowns and other structure that's down there. There's some man-made structure down there, meaning like railroad ties and stuff I just saw. Some other metal things too. So there's like, you know, man-made stuff around here, but it creates pretty good habitat. You know, places for largemouth to come and ambush, which is nice for them. So what I'm gonna do is go to that other bank, change the GoPro battery, and I'll be back in a little bit. So try this other point here. Kind of the same thing. I'm gonna work my way around the edges here. 7 feet right now. I think that was a fish. Thanks, bud. Thanks, bud. Well, y'all, I think that might do it for me today. Shout out again. Thanks a lot for the sponsor of this video, Deep Dive. Definitely check them out, man. I'm telling you, if you are, you know, if you run into a brick wall with your fishing and, you know, you're going out there and you're getting skunked and you know there's fish, try it out. You know, could just be a presentation, could just be a bait. Could just be that they're in a different area, right? Fish move. They don't move a whole lot. Like, everybody thinks that they're going to be moving miles away. No. But, you know, they are going to, you know, go back into pockets now in the fall, chasing those bait fish on the route to, you know, the deeper winter haunts. Had a pretty decent day. Didn't catch really anything big. That really wasn't the goal of today. The goal of today was just to catch some fish. And, yeah, I got on it pretty well. Wish I could have got some bigger ones, but, you know, I'll take what I can get. But thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all later. Tight lines, y'all.